Andy Scott, welcome back to the country. It's a busy summer for you. How's it going?
It's been a lot going on, both football-wise and personal-wise. So, yeah, it's been good. I've been very pleased with the response of the players that we've spoken to and the players from last year. And we've had to change things around a little bit at the football club to make sure it's financially viable for us to move forward as best as possible. And we've had good support from the club and the players that we've spoken to as well. So, it's important that's the case. Obviously, it's been taking a bit of a time to announce signings, etc. But that's just due to me being away and players being away and making sure we got the right deals and structuring it as best as possible.
And you're happy with the progress that you've made currently? Clearly, there's, you say contracts don't start till the 1st of July. There's still the players from last season to tie up or not. And you're happy with the progress as we are at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to all the players from last year, and we've agreed deals with some, and we're nearly there with others. And so, with that in mind, we knew exactly where we were in terms of getting players to come in, and we knew what type of players that we want to bring into the club, because we realised what a tough league it was last year and what's required, not just in terms of quality and ability, but also character as well. And that's something that we're looking to bring in, and I think that we're moving towards that position, and hopefully with the signings that we can announce further down the line, once people have got themselves over the line with what we're doing with the contracts, then I think people will be quite pleased with what we're doing.
And I believe we're first able to announce 4 players who all made contributions in their own way last season.
Yeah, we've got Joe Ostler, obviously, who was fantastic for us last year. He got a bad injury, but he came back into the side and was virtually never present, and did very well. Started off at right back with the emergence of Jade, and went to centre half and did a terrific job for us. He's a 100% committed player, and he was desperate to sign for us again, and we're delighted that we've got him signed. So that was obviously a big boost for us. We've signed Tristan Plummer again. I felt that he was coming into his own really before he got his injury, which was disappointing. And he showed his character by being around the club, wanted to be involved, wanted to help out, he was still desperate to try and get back fit for the last game of the season. It didn't quite work for him, but he's got something that we haven't had for a little bit, was the pace and trickery to get at play, Paul. And I think that when he played and he linked up quite well with Jaden down the right hand side, that he produced a lot of crosses and scored a good goal at Nuneaton as well. So he's got potential, still a young lad, and still learning to train and play at the level that he's playing at. But I think that he can improve to that point.
And Josh Scott and Jordan Roberts, I believe, as well.
Yeah, Jordan signed today, which is good. I've spoken to Jordan about his progress and exactly where he needs to improve, and I think mentally, he's at a point now where this has got to be a big year for him. I think that he made a mistake at having a Waterlooville that cost not only himself but the club dearly as well. But I think that I need to improve his fitness. I think that once he's fitter and stronger, because he's got the physical attributes, and we know that he's got the quality. He had a very, very good spell. He scored quite a few goals for us. But I'm going to be on his case this year, because he knows that he's got to be a man this year and got to play like a man and be a man, because I think he's got the potential to play at a higher level, and that's important. That we've got players that can improve. But they've also got to be surrounded by other players who have got the experience and the quality to help them improve, and that's why signing Josh is another big thing. I think that he grew in stature game on game towards the end of the season. It took him a while to get his fitness, but I think the performance up at Alfreton was one of the best I've seen from a centre forward in this league for a long time. And himself and Brett, were able to cause a lot of problems, and that was a major factor. We had a real physical element about us towards the end of the season. Didn't give back fours or defenders any time on the ball, and we put them off their stride. And you need that in this league. You need to be organised, you need to be big, strong, but you need to have the quality as well. And I think with a good pre-season under his belt, Josh will be a real force for us.
And with those 4, you also hoping to, you've been speaking to other members of last season's squad, and you're hopeful of retaining a few more of those as well?
Yeah, obviously Brett, we've got on contract. He triggered a clause, as did Chris Barker. We're hopeful that Molesy's got his option on his, but we think we're nearly there with that one. It's just a case of him being away. And Jayden also, he's agreed to sign it. He's just away at the moment. So the core element of what we've got, Anthony Tonkin has also been offered a contract and verbally agreed it with myself. So, we were establishing a nucleus of men who are capable. I think that we're picking the best players out of last season's squad, and we want to add to that as well. I've got a couple of players that I've spoken to that have agreed to come, but it's a case of just tying things up formally with them on minor bits and pieces with their contract, and then we can hopefully announce those. And then we're going to be into a situation where we were last year, that I don't want to go and spend all the money that we've got available until it's ultimately necessary. We need a few more areas to be covered. Certainly a goalkeeper is one of those. But we've got a few players coming in on trial in July, and we picked up some very good players last year in July, and I think that'll probably be the case again. So I want to keep the powder dry a little bit. It was important that we did retain the players that we've spoken about, and there's been a couple of players that I knew that we wanted, that I think we could have got, that we have managed to sort of tie up hopefully, and then we can sort of wait a little bit and see where we go from there.
And as you say, it's the same with the departure of Glenn Morris. I guess once you've got last season's players tied down to new contracts, it's seeing where the gaps in the squad remain. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, we're working on 44-week contracts this year. It's something that, as a club, we felt was necessary. There's an awful lot of clubs at this level are doing the same, and the ones that aren't are the ones that are getting into trouble and not paying their players. And that's not something that we're going to go down. We felt that we could maximise the budget with doing the 44 weeks, and the response has been pretty good from players who I've spoken to. So, clearly, the players were our priority, the ones that we had done well for us, and that was always going to be the case. But now we've got to look at bringing other players that complement and that can improve on what we did last year. And we weren't far off last year, given how it started in terms of getting a squad together. So, but I think in terms of us being more solid as a squad in terms of physicality and experience and nous, I think that's something that we've taken on board, and obviously we're going to have a few younger players to supplement the squad who can improve and we can work on and hopefully become assets to us. But the majority of they've got to be in a stable side that's strong and understands how this league works, and but we want a little bit of a difference, and that can change games, and that's something that we want to put into the side.
And 4 friendlies, pre-season friendlies confirmed so far. You happy with the balance and with the opposition?
Yeah, I mean, we had a tough pre-season last year, and I think that showed the quality of the Conference South with the teams we played. Obviously, the Chelsea game will be a good test for us, and it'd be nice to play them on the new pitch, which is looking really good at the moment. We've got a good relationship with Chelsea, and that might come to fruition in maybe getting a player or two from them. We don't know. Hopefully that might be the case. And then we've got a week where we haven't got a game, but I'm looking at probably playing a couple of behind closed doors games against a couple of clubs that I've spoken to about maybe having relationships with them in terms of loan players, which is key to really what happened to last year. We need that again. And then we've got Staines, who's always a tough place to play and a tough team, but the surface is very, very good and it's not too far away. Sutton again will be in the playoffs and pushing for promotion from the Conference South, so another good test for us. And AFC Wimbledon will be a side who, obviously they felt they probably underachieved last year, but have got the quality, and being a League Two side will be a good test for us before the season starts.
And finally, you mentioned it already, the new pitch is looking fantastic already, and it is literally the foundation on which a successful season can be built. And I guess the players, when they first come back to the club, will be itching to get out onto it. Yeah,
without a doubt. And if I'm honest, it's a selling point for me from a manager's point of view, that we've got a lovely surface, and the sprinkler system's got in now. So, I mean, when I left, I spoke to Nunny, and the pitch was sort of mud really and dirt and whatever they were doing to it. And then me being me, when I was away on holiday, looked on the Twitter feed and saw a bright green pitch, and I was amazed really how quickly that's come on. So, no, really pleased with how it's looking. I'm delighted that we're able to stage the game on the 18th as it was, because we didn't know that the pitch would be ready by then. But if it is, fantastic. I'm delighted that's the case, and be a fitting way to start. And our pitch is very, very important to us that we play that on a decent surface. We're looking at the dimensions. We're looking at how we can change it around to suit us as well. But the quality of it is all important.